Let's go to court.
Sure.
Let's start off with what happened on Friday.
Yes.
What happened?
So on Friday, the case of the SNAIT OBS case. It's interesting we are talking about SNAIT, and another issue regarding SNAIT has cropped up. The case of Mr. Ernest Thompson and then four others, Amatsi, is still ongoing before Justice and Henry Anthony Kofi. And what is clear now is that prosecution upon calling 10 witnesses have now closed their case. They say that they are relying on the testimony of all the 10 witnesses that they have caught so far, including the investigator whose cross-examination ended on Friday, to close their case. So one of the lawyers of the accused persons have indicated that, yes, they have listened, cross-examined the prosecution witnesses, but now they are of the considered view that no case has been made against their client, for which reason they should be called upon to answer. So they pray the court to file submission of no case. The court has given them up to 23rd of August to file their submission. After that, prosecution will have 4 weeks to respond to it. And on the 13th of October, I beg your pardon, they will have to come back to court for the court to give further directive in relation to this very case. So the OBS case, the SNAIT OBS case, now prosecution case is over. The court will have to make a determination. The parties have been asked to file their respective submission in relation to the submission of no case. So October 10th, after the legal vacation, the new legal year begins, we'll hear more in relation to this case.
Okay. What else do we have?
Yes, you've been saying much about the SNAIT hotels and all that, and how some unions have joined Labour. You know, they are all members of Labour. And JUSAC.
Are we not members of Labour?
We are not. Yes, it's a public institution. Are we?
But why are we not? Why are we not?
Why
I had only 2 hours of sleep last night. Imagine that you were part of Labour. You won't be at work this morning.
I know, right?
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so JUSAC has joined?
Yeah, JUSAC has joined. They are a member of Organized Labour, and they say that in solidarity with the statement from Organized Labour, they are not coming to work. And so, as you can see, this is the premises of the law court complex. The last time they declared strike, this is how the premises was looking like. Today, they are saying that, look, they've heard a statement, they've heard information from the media. Rock City has issued a statement, SNAIT has issued a statement, but officially they have not been notified. All that they are hearing is what the media is reporting. However, Organized Labour, like you mentioned earlier, is having a meeting today with all the groups, including JUSAC. And so JUSAC is saying that all its members, nobody should step foot at the courts. So what is clear, or what we are likely to see, is that an empty court today, at least until the end of the meeting that they intend to have today, then we'll know more. So we'll be assessing the impact of what will be happening in court today and all that. But what is clear is that JUSAC says that they are complying with the directive from Organized Labour to also not go to work. So today, even if the judges come, they will not have staff to work with.
Right.
Yes.
So it's very likely that
very
there will
likely,
be court sittings.
Absolutely.
Right?
Very likely that the cases that are up today, all of them will have to suffer an adjournment and the first sort and all that. So that is what we'll look forward to. So as part of what is coming up today, we'll be assessing the atmosphere at the various courts, the High Court, the Supreme Court, and the various circuit and district court and all that. So
okay, so you'll be bringing us an update at 11:30 on what the court is looking like, but it's not going to look any different from what we are seeing on our screens right now, right?
Sure.
I don't know if we should discuss the other cases because will they be called?
Definitely.
Who is going to call them? JUSAC is on strike.
They are on strike.
Yeah.
They are saying that so JUSAC have not declared strike. It's Organized Labour that declared the strike.
But in solidarity.
And absolutely.
Right.
They are complying with that.
Yes.
So cases like the Binge Bank, Dr. Stephen Kobnopuni, Cocoa Board, you should be rest assured that if what JUSAC is saying is anything to go by, that their members should not come to work today, then there will be no show. But that is why we'll be there to see what exactly is going to happen in relation to that. So that is one of the things that we'll be looking out for. And we probably will find out from people who may not have information of this. You know, quite sometimes very interesting. You go to the court and you see people come to the court.
They don't know what's happening.
So we find out from them if they are aware and what the decision of JUSAG and organized labor, what they make of it and all that. So these are some of the things that we should expect in our subsequent bulletin and all that. But
thank you very much,
before
Captain.
I go,
tell me.
This week, in fact, this week, the Chief Justice has declared this week as an ADR week, alternative dispute resolution. And like the whole of this week, today to Friday, all cases, in fact, 135 courts have been designated to expedite or to do cases in ADR. And unfortunately, today that the exercise is beginning, we have this organized labor strike, which of course,
you know, it's a very important thing, you know, the decision by the Chief Justice, because ADR really is the way to go.
Absolutely. So what you see on your screen is the launch of one of the ADR weeks. So this is how it is going to be like. You see that some justices of the court, Mr. Alex Nate, who is the director of ADR, the judiciary and all that. So they sensitize people, they explain to people for them to understand the relevance of ADR and why it should be very cheap, expeditious and all that. So today we're supposed to begin, but unfortunately, we are having to deal with the organized labor strike. But we will also be assessing and speaking to powers that be and all that as to what will be done in relation to. But this is the second term of the area. The whole, in fact, it doesn't go with the legal year. So the first term was in March, July, second term, and in November, thereabout, we'll have the third term. So
when does the legal vacation start? End of this month?
This very one ends on 31st of July.
So the vacation starts from...
the vacation starts on 1st of August.
1st of August, okay.
Then it ends in the last day of September.
Okay.
Then they are back in the first week of October.
Of October. All right. Thank you very much, Captain.
Thank you, Serwaa. Do have a great
for
day.
Bringing us these updates.
Absolutely.
We'll catch up with you at 11:30 for what's happening, whether the court has been turned into a ghost town or whether there's some real business happening. But even it will affect the ADR composition,
most definitely,
right?
Because the same staff you are going to.
But why are we not part of organized labor? Why are we not part of labor? Oh.
We have to do
something about it, you know.
Because today, Monday, if you are part
solidarity.
But if you come, who will be hearing you? The country will go black. That is why we cannot go.
No. We will join in solidarity. Anyway, thank you so much, Captain.
The National Pension Regulation Authority had given the approval for them to go ahead to sell, those hotels. So you can imagine, you can see here the inconsistent. You came out to say that you were going to suspend, not up to a week. You were given green light to go ahead. Who is really pushing for these sales of these hotels? You know, until the organized labor. Look, I was the most excited person on Friday. You know why? We politicians, let me put it that way, especially this particular government, think that the people of this country are timid. They think that the people of this country, when something happens, we only come out to speak 3 days, 1 week, and then we are gone to sleep. This is something that a single, just a press release, communicating an intention of going on strike, yet government was found shivering all over. It took government less than 30 minutes to issue a statement to the public, stating that they are no longer going to say, you know, we're in this country when president made comments like he wouldn't hand over power to somebody he defeated twice. This is just even a sale of a hotel. And it was just, a press release. And then it didn't take the president up to 30 minutes for him to succumb to the people's, demands. So for me, I am happy. What is currently happening at Kenya is not different from what is happening in Ghana today. The youth of Kenya decided to go on the street. The youth, and for that matter, the working class of Ghana decided to use the legal way of communicating. Look, we are the owners of the Senate. It is their contributions. It is their contribution, and it is their pensions money they ask you to manage. You do not have the authority to think that because you have you have the authority, or you think that because you are the one in charge of affairs, you can decide to do anything with it. And so, for me, who are the managers of the current board? I mean, the management of Senate, the board members, all ought to be dissolved. It shouldn't just end there. You probably wouldn't know the next step that the board will be taking. You probably wouldn't know the next step the management probably that will be proposing. It tells you that the people at the reins of affair do not have the people or the working class of this country at heart. If this is their investment and this is the way we choose to go with it, I don't think they deserve to be in the office. And so they should further press on to demand the total dissolution of the board, and also some top management ought to be removed from office. Other than that, I suggest, and I will urge that the strike should still continue. It is not only organized labor. You realize that even we in minority also issue a statement in support of what trade union is currently calling on, that we are not going to, to comply with the government. We will not support any government business if this thing does not stop. Stop. And so for me, I don't think it is enough for those letters, once they've written that they are no longer going to continue with the sales. The Rock City has also written that they are withdrawing their bid. It is enough for, trade union to go back to work. No, the management of Senate, the board of trustees, the particular board must be dissolved. This is what the people of this country want. They have exhibited that they are not capable of handling the affairs of Senate. And so what the people are saying, or what ought to be done now, is to dissolve the board, and if possible, some management, the top management, should be removed from office. Then we can think about going back to work. Because we can't continue. A lot of things happened in the past and people were silent. I can tell you that a lot, we politicians, I am not saying only MPP, I am also a member of parliament. If something should happen in Ghana, I think we'll all be in trouble, because when it happened in Kenya, it was not only limited to executive. They actually went to parliament, and we saw how they attacked parliament. And so I'm saying that any other thing that we are doing, as far as the current environment is concerned, people are really angry. And it is the current government that has caused the anger. There's hardship in the system. There's unemployment in the system. Businesses are collapsing. People cannot afford even 3 square meals. And so these are things that are genuinely happening out there. And so we should not take the people of this country for granted. We ought to be careful the kind of, environment we currently are. It is not something that we should try to, to take them for granted. And so it shouldn't end here. They should press on until the board is dissolved. They should press on until some management, especially the Director General, is removed from office. Right from the time he was, Deputy Director General before becoming Director General, his actions and everything shows clearly that he lacks capacity in handling Senate. His action and everything shows that he does not have the progress of the organization at heart, rather either partisan or selfish interest. And so the trade union must still press on. All the organized laborers, all the other, supporting unions, they should press on until the board is dissolved, and then some of the top management are removed from office.
Let's welcome Saka Salia. He is a member of the NPP's communications team. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Great. So we're talking about the intended sale of Senate stake in some of the hotels, and matters arising. And we know that on Friday, organized labor released a statement of a nationwide strike, of which some other institutions have joined in solidarity with that organized labor's statement or nationwide strike. But I was asking him that the fact that the main buyer, which is the Member of Parliament for Abetifi, whom Okudzeto Ablakwa has raised questions, legitimately so, has withdrawn its bid to buy the hotel. Shouldn't that end the matter?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning to our cherished viewers. Good morning. He's my brother, my mate. He's my brother. We are from the same place.
Okay.
And good morning to your good self. Good morning to our flag bearer and our running mates, Matthew Poko Perempe. First of all, when you said rightly so with Okudjato's points that he raised, I said, hey, where from this? Because a lot of the things that Okudjato actually, a lot of the points that he made or the grievances that he brought, were completely out of place. A lot of them. It just happened that SNIT and Rock City themselves decided that enough is enough. Enough of the noise and all that. But I, sitting here, believe that if it was good yesterday, it's still good today. We have seen, this is not to equalize anything, but I'm just making a point to let the viewers understand that if you have a company that has 100% stake, that has 100%, shares, and over the years, the company is not making profits, and sometimes you yourself can see palpably that this company has the potential to make huge profit. But because one, I do not have the money to invest in it, or secondly, the priorities of the money that is with me, in terms, I'm talking about SNIT here, it has a lot of priorities, and therefore, why can't we get an investor, a strategic investor, that can lead the pack, that can take charge, so that SNIT can ride on the back of that to make huge profit going forward. This is not, bear in mind, this is not outright sale to Rock City. And indeed, they took this decision, and all the mechanisms, all the everything that needed to be done in order to get a strategic investor was done. They advertised it, people applied, they went through, RFP, they shortlisted, and then they are into negotiation. At that time, the minister was not a minister. The agric minister was not a minister. And indeed, they did not.
When was he not a minister? Since the beginning of this administration, he's been a minister. Before this appointment,
he was a deputy minister.
Yes, but before this appointment, he had a ministerial position.
Yeah, but
so when you say that this negotiation has been ongoing for at least 2 years, from what we understand,
more than 2 years now.
More than 2 years.
Yes, since
so you cannot say that he was not a minister at the time.
Well, he wasn't the agric minister. He wasn't a cabinet minister.
But he was a minister of state.
Yeah, he was a deputy minister.
But if you're a deputy minister, are you not a minister of state?
He has no way. There's no way that he could have, interfere with the process and all those
you
things.
go on. I just wanted to make that
I understand what
clarification.
you mean. But that is the reason why I'm saying that he's not a cabinet minister. And indeed, even this particular...
But does not being a cabinet minister make you less of a minister?
No, listen, that is the reason why I'm saying that even if you are a cabinet minister, because this is not a decision taken by cabinet. The decision to sell stick in SNIT is not a cabinet decision. So even if you were to be a cabinet minister, it would not have meant anything. But you see...
But I don't think that's the concern that Ablakwa raises, that whether the decision was made by cabinet or not. The fact that
he said there's conflict of interest.
Wouldn't you agree?
And that it was inside dealing. What inside is he talking about?
Okay, you go ahead.
So a lot of the things that he said completely out of place, and it was thrown out. Some of them were being rebutted, responded to, and he's all over there making noise. But I'm saying that with the current decision taken by SNIT and Rock City itself, one would have thought that, everything would have come to an end. But you still see some group still saying that unless ABCD is done, they are not going to call off their strike and all those things.
But I have a question for you. As a businessman, you do business, right? Yeah. As a businessman, if your business is not making profit, is the first thing to do, will that be to sell it?
No. You're not selling it. Bear in mind, this is not like
if you're selling a stake of it or a percentage of it, you're selling some part of it. Is that the first thing that you have to do?
If you're a businessman and then your business is not doing well, you go into you do analysis as to what is the reason for the business not doing well. And if the analysis lead to a particular decision, you have to take that decision. And in the case of SNIT, a lot of the hotels are begging for investment. Bear in mind when Rock City, because there's financial investment and there's technical investment. The financial investment is what will you do after you have acquired the property. And that one, you remember, if you look at the proposal, Rock City proposed about $81 million that it will invest in the company. And then $61 million for the technical investment. So I'm saying that you have to do analysis of the situation and come to a conclusion. And in doing analysis of the situation, SNIT came to the conclusion that they cannot continue to take their mega money, their small monument for pensioners, and invest in a hotel that in the end will not give them anything. But some of these hotels have never even given SNIT dividends at all. Those that give, just mega. 11 years out of 14 years. That is Labadi. And that is the golden one among them. So we are saying that in all these things, conclusions have come to the matter. The Rock City itself says they don't want the noise because they have made it without these folk hotels. And as a result, they want to be out of this whole matter. They even said that SNIT itself should have consulted its stakeholders before starting the whole process. So they decided that they will go out. And then the SNIT board itself had decided that no, they are going to cancel everything. This is not like it's only Rock City that have withdrawn, and therefore maybe in future somebody else will come or they will recall some of those that did not qualify. They are saying they have cancelled the whole thing. So it came as a surprise to some of us when we still see some people still going around or still urging their group not to, as it were, to continue, the strike and all that. So for me, I think that detractors like the NDC who are making noise all over the place. Look at what is happening. The SNIT properties in Cape Coast, their hoys have stakes in them. Okujato and his ilks are not unaware of this. They are aware. And they kept mute and creating the impression that this government or functionaries of this government are doing quote and unquote what they term as state capture. Go to Kumasi, go to Tamale, and other places. Even SNIT buildings, SNIT lands in Wa has been captured by the NDC. Lands that SNIT have bought and are ready to use those land for the purpose of building estates for SNIT workers. The NDC functionaries have bought those lands. I have mentioned names everywhere, and they have not come out to deny some of these things. So I don't think this selective amnesia from Okujato and the likes, to the extent that now he's praising himself, that he organized the organized labor to do what they are doing. And I said, why would organized labor stoop so low to allow somebody like Okujato Ablakwa, who has no integrity at all when it comes to fight against corruption? Indeed, we all saw or heard Matanamidu talk about the isotophone case, where Okujato, was all over him, calling him to accept the fact that isotophone need to be paid and all those things. We saw some of the unfounded allegations that he made against Ghana Foreign Embassy in Norway that ended up not to be so. We've seen his antichrist activities that led to, the halting of the cathedral and all that. So such a person, if he should come out and be praising himself and saying that he ensured that organized labor did what they are doing, I think that it brings the image of organized labor into disrepute in this matter. Therefore, I would say, I believe in organized labor. I know their leadership and those around them, and even all the stakeholders within organized labor. They belong to different political parties. And for somebody to now come and be touting himself as the one who organized them and it was inviting praises and congratulations. I think that it's completely, unacceptable. And therefore, for me, I will continue to say that organized labor asks that the deal be cancelled. The deal has been cancelled. What's their problem?
Why can't government just announce that there will be no sale at all? Isn't that
Why
what
you
they
say
want?
government? You see, government has institutions that are put in charge. And therefore, you cannot...
So SNITs can then say that they are not
but
selling
Smith have
its
come
stake
out
at all.
with a release.
Selling its stake at all in any of the hotels.
Oh, but they said that. They said they have cancelled the whole thing. So when they say they cancel it, what does that mean? It's not like they have cancelled Rock City. They have cancelled the whole proposal and request for all those things. They have cancelled it. So I still don't get it when because now their concern is that they are going to meet their members and then have meeting the same type of meeting that they had before they decided on the strike and all that. But it is so clear and unambiguous that as at now, government through SNIT board and then the National Pension Regulatory Authority, they have decided to cancel that deal. So if your concern has been met, what else? Unless maybe somebody wants to read into the meaning, into some other meaning of which Okujato gave us a clue. For me, I think that there is no issue here. The issues that they have, even though some of us do not agree with them, have been resolved. And therefore, look, as at now, are you saying that SNIT should go and take $100 million of the public money to go and invest in these hotels? At the end of the day, for 20 years, 12 years, they will not be getting anything. Meanwhile, they have invested their money in there. Is that what they are telling us? Because these hotels, I've heard some of them, some of them, including Okujato, and their apologies, saying that, if you have issues with the hotel, the first thing is to change management. It's not about changing management. It's about investing in those hotels. For changing management, everybody can go there if maybe.
But have we tried it to see if there's going to be an improvement?
I'm not sure these are the first management of SNIT hotels ever since they established these hotels. They've continued to change management every time. And then the situation remains the same. And SNIT is not saying that we are selling it. No. They are saying that one time, you see, you cannot even give you cannot sell it to somebody to be in a minority position. Because once the person is in minority position, the person will not have the wherewithal or the legal backing to do the investment that is required of the person. The person has to be a majority shareholder in order to bring all the desired investment into those hotels. So I think that SNIT took a very strategic decision. They took a very prudent one by saying that let's offload 60% so that the strategic investor will have majority share and therefore would use his money to invest, even though we as minority will also have to give something based on the shares that we have. But I think that this is it's just like Ghana Telecom. When Ghana Telecom was in the hands of Ghana, 100%, the money that we are getting from Ghana Telecom today is by far huge and bigger than when we had 100%. Now we have 30% in Ghana Telecom. The Ghana Telecom investors are the people investing their monies, and then we are getting the dividends. So why would anybody think that, the thing has to be there for emotive reasons? It has to be called SNIT hotels, when they are not getting anything out of it. And then you remember Lancaster, when Lancaster bought was it Golden Tulip? Nobody mentioned anything because the people are foreigners. That's the reason why Ghana here, people talk about the pull him down syndrome and all that. When you are making it, people want to bring you down. And that is exactly what Okujato and his brothers are doing. Because they don't understand why all of a sudden a local company like Rock City can make it to that level and still want to make it. And therefore, the better or the best means is to, dirty them in the eyes of the public and let people think that Rock City is doing something on the way. Rock City says that they will make it with or without SSNIT hotels.
Honorable.
Listening to my brother, as he rightly said, we are brothers, but it's unfortunate that I have a brother who doesn't think about the forward movement of our country, rather want to go the partisan way. He said something, Serwaa, and I was expecting you at least to hold him responsible for those allegations. He says that some SSNIT properties were bought by NDC, citing some of them in Cape Coast, saying that the Ahwels, they have stakes in those properties. Do you have evidence to that?
Yeah, I have.
As you sit here, can you produce evidence? Because the people are not here.
But you
are sitting on the national television
you
alleging that
no, let me tell
they have stake. Do you have evidence?
Ahoy has stake in the SSNIT hotels in Cape Coast.
What is the evidence?
Woody Ahaya has stake
no, you
in
can't
Tamale.
just sit here. Listen.
Bagbin bought.
You see,
SSNIT lands in Wa.
Saka, let us know.
No, let me continue.
This is a perception.
They can take
but let him list it. You want him to list it, so let him list it.
Listen,
when he finishes, you can rebut.
Woody Ahaya bought the curtain rest house of SSNIT in Tamale. Obri Yabua bought curtain rest house of SSNIT hotels in Tamale, in Kumasi. Ahoy has 4% stake in SSNIT hotels in Cape Coast. Bagbin bought SSNIT lands in Wa. And the list goes on. So what is your problem?
But are they okay? You respond.
That is why I said I have a problem. So this is about perception. You go out there, people look, Serwaa, you can be walking and somebody will tell you that this particular building we are sitting is for Serwaa. It's a perception. It is somebody's imagination. So you sit on national set and say that Speaker of Parliament bought SSNIT lands at Wa. Why in what what is the evidence? We are talking about it is not about perception. So should I also sit here and say that we know that all the happening, the corruption that are happening, all the kickbacks that are happening in the country or in this current government, it is the doing of the president.
Because that's what you will be saying.
If you say that is what I will be saying. Like what happened at the, how do you call it, procurement authority, the sales of contract, is a perception that it was the president who asked the then executive. You are not what?
I'm not understanding what you're saying.
I'm just telling you that let us not engage in perception. Speak with facts.
I'm not talking about perception here.
It is about perception. If it is because
I'm telling you
facts.
Perception.
It's not a perception. It's an allegation.
It's an allegation, brother. It's an allegation. You can't sit here and just come out with an allegation that you cannot provide evidence.
Have not disagreed with me.
Let's be careful. Let's be careful.
Woody Ahaya have not disagreed. Obi Abua has not disagreed.
You can't sit here.
Bagme cannot come and disagree with me. I'm telling you. I'm from Wa, and I know what I'm talking about.
I am equally from Wa.
Yeah, so I'm telling you. I'm putting it to you. I cannot just throw allegations without facts.
I am putting it to you.
I know what I'm talking about.
But do you have evidence?
No.
I have evidence.
He does not have any evidence. He does not have any evidence. What's the evidence?
Please allow him. What's your evidence? Yes.
The evidence is in SSNIT. If you go to SSNIT now.
But let me ask, is it a crime to hold shares in any of SSNIT's properties? Because
for me, that's what the reason why when I started, I said that if it were
SSNIT is supposed
good
to
yesterday, it's good today.
SSNIT is supposed to collect our monies and make investments on our behalf, right?
Exactly.
So is it particularly a crime? I'm asking.
I
am asking you.
Yeah, for me, it's not a crime at all. But I'm saying that if Okujato and Co think that a government functionary or somebody who is politically exposed cannot own shares in SSNIT, why the selective amnesia?
But do you understand the principle of conflict of interest that he raises?
Yes.
And you don't think that that is a problem?
Conflict of interest in what way? He's a Ghanaian. He qualified in every respect, even though he's a government functionary. As parliamentarian, Parliament has nothing to do with
your party was the party when the NDC was in power that kept shouting that the former president was running a family and friends government.
Yes.
And that there were more other competent people who could have taken the positions some of the positions that were given to the family members.
Exactly.
Why did you say that?
Yeah,
Wasn't it because of a conflict of interest situation?
No. We said that because, you see, the president as an individual have the powers to choose anybody at all.
Right, that they feel is competent.
But you see, in the matter of SNITs...
No, explain that one. Because if they are qualified, according to the president, and they are Ghanaians,
yes,
and they can be appointed, why is it that if this person is also a Ghanaian, as you say, they cannot, and they are being appointed or they are being picked to buy a property?
They are not being picked to buy a property.
You have a problem with what was happening in the NDC, but you don't have a problem with what's happening
now. No,
I'm
not having a problem with it. When Bagbin bought those properties, he bought, SNIT voluntarily sold them to him. Who they hired the same. So it's
oh my God.
But I'm saying that in this particular case, what is so wrong that you think that, and they are even doing politics with it, with the state capture agenda and all those things. And I'm saying that whatever that was good yesterday is still good now. If it were bad yesterday, it's bad now. But you cannot come and say that because somebody decided to purchase SNIT properties, not even purchase all. Buy a stake in SNIT properties, that is corruption, that is conflict of interest, when indeed in your own nose, you can find a lot of those people who have also benefited from SNIT properties. So that is my problem. Apart from SNIT properties, when we are talking about properties that has been appropriated by functionaries of government, the NDC people are all over the place. John Dramani Mahama himself.
Okay, you were just to list.
Have bought properties of Ghana. John Mahama himself has bought properties of Ghana that are in issues now. Professor Mills of blessed memory.
Which property?
Oh, didn't he bought the Chado military lands?
He bought them.
Yes.
You have evidence.
You see, you are saying, I have evidence.
Oh my God.
That he bought Chado lands.
Chado lands. The Mahama and Associates. There's a land around Accra Girls.
Mahama and Associates.
Mahama and Associates.
But Accra Girls is not Chado.
Those lands belong to government of Ghana.
But Accra Girls is not Chado.
I said no, Chado area. He bought military lands there. Okay. I'm giving another place.
You have evidence.
There are evidence all over the place.
Okay.
You see, and such a person,
all over the place.
Functionaries of such a person are all over the place and talking about state capture.
List those,
can you imagine that?
Yeah.
I you see, for the NDC, I know that anytime there is an election, these are their modus operandi.
All right.
They will just come, throw out unfounded allegations and create the impression that, they are saints and somebody else is a devil. These are the devils themselves who are making all the noises. And I'm sure at the right time, all these things will be proven.
Okay. Honorable, yes.
To just react to some of the things he says, he said he actually used the word somebody like Ablakwa. And I was expecting you to question it.
Yeah.
When you say somebody like Ablakwa,
yes,
you're talking about, you are questioning his integrity.
Of course.
But of course, you and I, all of us here, know very well that when it comes to integrity, one of the best performing member of parliament, even though I am a member of parliament, is Honorable Ablakwa. You cannot, somebody who is doing the work of God and for the country, but for Ablakwa today, where we are today, wouldn't have been here. As far as this particular case is concerned, you can't sit here and try to impugn his integrity. You can't do that, Saka. You cannot.
That.
You said,
Ablakwa,
please, I'm coming. You said, what can you even say about Ablakwa when it comes to corruption? You spoke about past issues about, how do you call it? Judgment debt. Your government has been in power for the past 8 years. You could not find a single act about Ablakwa, that Ablakwa was engaged in corruption when he was in office. Yet you come and sit on national television. Are you not ashamed to sit on national television speaking for a government that has been in power for the past 8 years? You've not been able to prosecute or to even find any issue as far as Ablakwa is concerned regarding corruption about Ablakwa.
No,
yet you come and, I'm coming.
Yeah,
you come and sit here and try to input. This is somebody that has been celebrated by all, including members of your party. Of course, what Ablakwa did about Senate issue is this. If you don't know, please just exercise patience. Let me take you through. We are talking about investment. You said the hotels are not making profit. It is not true. Labadi Beach Hotel has been making profit. You understand? And so the decision for you people to sell the hotels to your own party people, that is not the best way to go. We are talking, if you have an organization that is not making profit, first of all, you look at the operations and what is really causing it not making profit. Is it about management issue? If it has to do with management issue, then you change management. You understand? In some time,
if it's not management,
so who tells you? So you are talking about Senate. Tell me which institution that is wealthy in terms of financial viability, which institution that is more than Senate.
That's the point.
That if you are talking about, so we are saying that selling the hotels to someone who is
selling a stick,
whether even 1% to someone who is even part of your government, is conflict of interest.
So Honorable, will the NDC be okay if the stake was not sold to, or it was not intended to be sold to Brian, but any other person?
If the decision to sell the hotel, it is transparent and not to even sell to Brian, any other person,
you'll be okay.
Right, will be okay. What? Let me tell you.
What if Brian is qualified? What stops him from from acquiring it?
Last week, Ablakwa said something on City Eyewitness News. He says that before, even as a member of parliament, my brother said something. He says at the time he started the processes, he wasn't a minister. If you are a member of parliament, before you can engage in any business, you must apply to Speaker of Parliament.
He's not an executive member. He doesn't work in the company, even though
everybody knows Rock City is it is Brian Achimpo who owns Rock City. So if you sit here and say he's not an executive member, if you are even a board member to any organization, you must apply to Speaker of Parliament. There's even a committee in charge of that you must apply. Even lawyers who are members of Parliament, before they can practice, you must apply to Speaker of Parliament for them to grant you the permission for you to engage in any other profit-making venture. This is what we're talking about. So
if you have your house and you are renting and you become a parliamentarian, look at what to give you permission for you to take your money.
If that is registered,
I mean, how?
If that is registered at
he's not working there.
If that is registered and it is something that is recognized by law, that brings you money, additional money.
Even if you don't work there.
You are the owner of it. You must apply.
No, this is not.
No. Listen. Let me tell you. You again
this
try.
Is not access declaration.
We are not talking about.
Please allow him to make. Please, and please be wrapping up on it for me.
For you to sit here and make allegations, while allegations like Mahama, His Excellency the former president bought lands, the Chado lands, you do not have any evidence to that. Should I sit here? Some time back, the president, and for that matter, the people of this, the government of this country now granted a tax waiver to a nephew, not a nephew, I think an in-law of the president to build the hotel. So should we start saying that particular hotel belongs to the president of the republic? No, you can go about. Of course, a lot of things.
But we have said worse things.
We have said worse things. Go to how do you call it? The 37. You are talking about people buying lands around the Accra Girls. Go to when you are going towards from 37 to Opebia on your right, where DVLA used to be. Go there. Just look at what is currently happening. All that stretch has been sold
to who?
You are asking me to who? To your people. Your people bought it.
Just mention one name.
I will not mention names. So I am telling you that we are saying that the state capture in this government is too much. Even if Senate is not doing well and you have to sell Senate, is it only Brian Achimpo, Rock City, who has the capacity to buy Senate?
It was advertised.
When you say it was
advertised, why didn't you?
Please, I'm coming. Your own party,
you, Mohammed, why didn't you apply for?
Would you allow me to please? Would you allow me to make my point? Your own party chairman, Freddie Blay, came out to say that his children, who also bid for same transaction, were more qualified. In fact, their tender was even more than what.
But Senate came out to say it's a lie.
When you say Senate came out to say it's a lie, that is why we are saying that there are a lot of questions that needs answers as far as this particular transaction is concerned, especially that the organized labor, they are the true owners of Senate, and they are saying that enough is enough. We are not going to sit for you to continue to sell our asset. We are no longer interested. Even if the management of Senate is saying that they want to sell, the owners of Senate is saying that we will not allow you to sell. Why did you all of a sudden have to pull out when they came out with those press releases that they are withdrawing their services? Why did you have to pull out? It
No,
didn't even take
because
you people.
it means that the Senate board listened to.
When you say Senate board
listen.
So you sit here you try to paint,
and especially when Rock City had withdrawn.
Please allow him.
You sit here and you try to paint organized labor, trade unions, and all of that at people of NDC
who said that?
You said that. You said those making noise at NDC.
I don't think he said that.
Ablakwa said he organized them.
He said Ablakwa and all
said
the people
he
making noise
organized
are
them.
NDC people.
Oh no.
You said you
I
mentioned
didn't
it.
hear that.
Well, you didn't. I heard
I said
it.
that
He said
NPP
that
and I noted it
it's a
down.
mixture
Yes.
of, he said there were NDC and NPP members.
No,
He said
and
that-
therefore
mentioned
Ablakwa
NDC
cannot say that he organized
He
them.
never mentioned NDC and NPP. He says that Ablakwa and his people, those making noise, he doesn't even know what the
That is a
organized
different
labor.
statement.
Yes, and he doesn't know what the organized labor wants. Why are they still saying that they are going? They want the board dissolved, the top management of Senate
For what?
change. Because listen, even if you are playing a football, and you are not getting the needed results that you want, what do? Don't you make changes? So we are saying that dissolve the board and make changes on the management. The director general ought to be fired, and some top management ought to be changed. That is what the organized labor wants as it stands now. So it is still not enough for just coming out to state that you are no longer going to sell the hotels. It is still not enough for Rock Cities to come out to say that they are not interested in buying the
So when
hotel.
did they come out with
Yeah.
with that information? That
I
they
am
went
a Ghanaian just like you, and I'm saying you were questioning
When
why
did they do
you were
that?
questioning why
Because they said they will meet today.
but you were questioning.
So
you asked the
when
question.
did they meet to take that
I
decision?
am telling you that am I not contributing to Senate, and I am saying that
Everybody is contributing to Senate.
I don't think you do.
Who told you
The
that?
last time I checked, you are not working.
Who told you?
He's
Who
not
told
working.
you?
Are you?
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on and talk about other issues. So on Friday, we saw a statement from the running mates to Dr. Baumia, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, apologizing for the statements or the comments that he made on the day of his outdooring regarding Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And in the statement, he said that he did not intend to denigrate, disrespect Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's legacy or that of any other president. That should settle the matter, no? Honorable. Because I have seen members of the NDC, the general public actually also, CSOs calling for his head, but he has apologized.
He has apologized.
Isn't that one of the things that you asked?
Do you trust that the apology is indeed coming from the running mate of Dr.
Who is it coming from?
Because after the statement, he tried justifying what he meant. He
Well,
tried on several occasions, even when he went to Western region. And he actually even says that
video was before the statement.
that video was before this, where I cannot speak to that. But I know that after the statement, he still tried to justify. And he actually even said that he's not trained to be a coward. He's trained to be somebody who is to speak the truth. And so when you speak the truth, you are seen as someone who is arrogant.
That statement was after
the
visit to Wasa.
After the visit to Wasa. That was
Where
after,
he made those comments.
He made the comments
Yes.
that Nkrumah no.
Yes.
Nkrumah no. Also,
But-
Nkrumah no cannot even come closer to Nana Addo.
But after everything,
And after everything,
on all
so-
these statements, he has
exactly.
apologized.
No, I'm
so
coming.
should that not end the matter?
So you see, apology is something that when you show remorse of something that you have done that you ought not to have done, and you always get to realize that what I've said, I should have said that to Serwaa. And so when I quickly come out to say to you and say, Serwaa, I am really sorry, please forgive me, you will know that this thing is really coming from my heart. But if I have tried, after wronging you, I have tried on countless occasions trying to defend my words, trying to defend my actions. And then later, then there's an apology somewhere. I don't think you take that apology in good faith. Would you take it in good faith? Because you will say, no, it's either it's an afterthought, it's either somebody actually forced me to come to you and apologize because let to me alone. Because he said it on countless occasions that he was only speaking the truth, and Ghanaians, we hate the truth. And so when you are known or speaking the truth, people see you as someone who is arrogant. He said it. And so for this apology, it's only coming from the campaign team. Probably my brother Saka is part of them. They decided to sat down to come out with the apology to Ghanaian public. But to Napo, as we know him, you and I know Napo, for him to consider, okay, he actually erred. It is something that he wouldn't do. Look, what is more, what is more dangerous?
What did you want when you said that he should apologize? Because you said he should apologize.
We in NDC, of course, I in particular wasn't surprised.
So you wanted him to apologize. He's apologized. And you said the apology isn't genuine.
We never
when
said
I say you, I don't
the people of this country.
Yes,
and I'm also
a lot of people
to,
were calling for an apology.
And I am saying that I am speaking for NDC. We never said, in fact, we were not surprised. We said it when he was nominated. We said that this is somebody we know. This is somebody you know. You know Nopo very well. This is someone.
I know him as what?
As someone who is arrogant.
I don't know that.
Even when your media, your colleagues asked him to present a timetable when we're facing electricity crisis, and he said that how were you not embarrassed as a journalist, a top-notch journalist? Were you not embarrassed when you had a public servant, a minister, people that elected him, and through that he got appointment to represent the people of this country? He told us on our face that we should go and prepare our own timetable. If this is not arrogant, it is what? And so for me, where he got it wrong is that even everybody, no matter how bad you are, a day of your adorning is like our day. It's like our day. Our day. Try to hide your inner character. At least it is a day that everybody, whoever that was having a bad perception about you, was having a different mind about you. It is a day that you try also to exhibit that, you also have some part of beauty in you that people are not aware of. But my brother could not hide it. It was his day. It was a day that they were adoring him. The program he was the focus. It was about Napo. But, as usual, he chose to exhibit that, yes, this is what he's known best. And trying to compare Dr. Nkrumah to Nana Addo. What? I am saying that.
Are people not free to make comparisons and share their opinions?
Serwaa, but there are some comparisons we don't try. You cannot even go there. You cannot. How do you even try to compare somebody like the current president to Dr. Nkrumah?
But
what achievement?
Because you cannot compare, does that stop any other person from comparing?
Let's not be hypocrite. You know what? Hypocrisy is when you know what you are doing, it is not right and you are doing. He knows. He knows very well that Nana Addo cannot even come closer. He can't even achieve. He hasn't even achieved 1% of what Dr. Nkrumah did. And so he should not even try to compare Dr. Nkrumah. This is somebody that has been celebrated across the world that as one of the best African leaders we've ever produced in this country. And so when you go to many of the African countries, anywhere you go and you mention Ghana, somebody will mention Nkrumah. Why are they mentioning Nkrumah? Because of his legacies, because of the achievement he's achieved for us, because of some of the things he did, and you and I are still benefiting. Look at our motorway. Look at all the many factories in this country. You understand? And so even the free senior high school that he is always saying that he implemented free senior high school. In fact, free education was implemented under Dr. Nkrumah in Ghana here. And so when you want to compare the failure, someone who is the most, someone who has performed, I don't know how the kind of adjective to use to describe the current regime. Try to compare. You are not being fair to the people of this country because people are angry. Look at the unprecedented youth unemployment in the country. Look at how businesses are struggling. Look at the kind of light bill you are paying, Serwaa. Look at the amount of money that people ought to cough out to pay for rent. Look at the many people, everything is not working in this country. And so this is not a time for somebody to even try to compare. You cannot even, I don't know, not even Hilal Iman who couldn't complete his tenure. You can't compare the current president to the achievement of even Hilal Iman who could not complete his tenure. And so for him to do this is the most insulting statement coming from the running mate of New Patriotic Party. And for us...
The apology is insulting or the comments?
So that's what I asked you. So are you still insisting that that apology is coming from Nepo?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
What I'm trying to say to me and to many other people out there, it is not coming from Nepo. Never.
Meaning someone wrote the apology.
No, someone wrote the apology. It's the campaign team that wrote the apology.
Every statement that come from the office of the former president, is it always written by him?
But he sanctioned it.
And you don't think that Napo sanctioned because it was shared on his face? It was shared on his page.
I don't think
if it wasn't sanctioned by him, who would have the authority?
This is politics. So if many of his party people think that what you said is rather causing us harm than good, what you have to do is that whether you like it or not, they will write it and sign by you and release it. You can't come out to say that you have no knowledge about it.
So what would you have rather have him do? To verbally apologize?
Yes. If indeed this thing is coming from Napo should mount another platform to apologize to this. Look, Serwaa, I watched a video, right? An interview when what's his name? The chef that misled the whole country. You brought him here. The guy actually apologized on national television. He didn't issue a statement. He apologized. He went ahead to do a video. He knelt before the people of this country and sent the video. The video went viral. Everybody saw that the young man was actually remorseful. He regretted his action and he knelt on his knees and pleaded that we should forgive him. Didn't we forgive him? I'm sure before he left your program on that day, you forgave him before he left. And so for Napo to say that particular statement is actually for him, until we see Napo mounting a political platform like he did and jumping the same way he was jumping, apologizing, demonstrating that indeed he is remorseful of what he actually said. Until then, we will not take it as an apology coming from Napo because we know him to be who he is. We know him, and we know those words couldn't have been coming from Napo.
So you are in parliament with him. Well, not anymore, but has he always been arrogant, as you say?
He said, oh, not anymore. He's still a member of parliament until 6th January.
Of course, yes.
Probably, I'm sure today he will be in parliament. Well, from here, I'll go, I'll now meet him. I'm sure he's still my colleague in parliament.
And is he arrogant?
Well, I haven't had the opportunity, but he's somebody.
You haven't had the opportunity.
You
cannot tell, but you are running with the.
Listen. When I say I haven't had the opportunity, Napo is always, look, even before I go to parliament, is somebody that everybody knows him to be arrogant.
But I asked you, you are in parliament with him.
He's arrogant.
He's arrogant?
Yes, even towards his colleagues in parliament.
Towards you too?
Yes.
What did he do to you?
You want to know what I tried speaking to him as a member of parliament to talk to him about some rural electrifications, and the response I got from him wasn't pleasant as compared to other members of parliament or other appointees. So he's arrogant.
What did he say? If you don't mind sharing.
There's even a video recently when he appeared before Government Assurances Committee and tried to lie that because somewhere 2021 he had promised me in the chamber, it was a question I posed on him for him to answer about some rural electrification, some communities in Sisala West. And he said by the end of 2021, those communities would be connected to national grid. After that, until recently that we met him at Government Assurances Committee, and those questions came up. I asked him, he says that that two communities were done awaiting permission, which wasn't so. Unfortunately for me, I had just returned from the constituency, and I told him that what you were saying was untrue. That is not the situation on the grounds. I have dealt with him several times when it comes to trying to get other things done in my constituency.
And that was arrogance?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying, no, don't try to justify it. I'm just citing one of the examples, and I said he lied. I've been to his office a couple of times. I've dealt with him even in the chamber. And I say that as compared to other appointees of MPP, right, the response I got from him, you want me to say those response in the national television? I'm saying that those response I got from him as compared to other appointees, it confirmed the perception out there that he's arrogant. And so I decided that I wouldn't speak. I just kept quiet because I know power is transit and Napo certainly, and for that matter, MPP will not be in power forever. Just as you know, 4 months to come, there will be a change, and certainly we'll vote them out.
Yeah. So first of all, but do you know that people say that you are very arrogant?
Well,
do you know that?
I am not aware of that.
Go and ask Kwame.
Which Kwame?
Kwame, Pan-African TV.
He says I'm arrogant.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Maybe he has.
I
wouldn't argue with Kwame.
Yeah.
Probably he has.
So he said,
but do you know me to be arrogant?
Yes, of course. You are
Okay,
very
no
arrogant.
problem. No, you don't have. I will not fight you for that.
You are very arrogant. You know, I called you like 1 year. You never picked my call.
Because I don't know your number.
You see, that's how arrogant people act. If they don't know your number, they will never pick your call.
I don't know, and I miss a lot of calls. So if missing your call,
so you
that
finish.
makes me arrogant.
Let's go. You don't pick people's number you don't know. That is an act of arrogance.
Okay.
Yeah. So change. If not,
According to who?
According to Saka.
according to me and others, you get a point. But first of all, let's make this thing clear that Napo is not arrogant. Napo is one of the most admirable people in government and even in politics. He's personable. He's somebody you can interrelate and enjoy the relations or the relationship. He can be jovial, sense of humor, and all that. But you see, when it comes to serious matters, he's serious. When it comes to serious matters, Napo is a serious person. He says it as it is. But you see, the hypocrisy, you define hypocrisy here. The hypocrisy of the NDC has reached a legendary level. Why am I saying so? The apology Napo gave, what was the apology for? The apology was for his demeanor and then the fact that he said, "You're Kwame Nkrumah." But the comparison, he cannot apologize for comparison. It's just a matter of, you disagreeing with him, that you cannot compare Nanado to Kwame Nkrumah based on A, B, C, and D. Indeed, Yamin, your national organizer, said it, that, what is the name? John Mahama is greater than Kwame Nkrumah. Yamin said it in disagreement with Sam Jonah, when Sam Jonah was eulogizing Kwame Nkrumah. Your national organizer, Yamin,
On which platform?
they have cuts, said that Mr. Mahama is greater. You Google right now, it's everywhere. Said Mahama is greater than Kwame Nkrumah. That one, you didn't have problem with it.
I said, on which platform?
Indeed.
Who said it?
Yamin, Joseph Yamin, the NDC.
And he
He said when Sam Jonah was eulogizing the work of Kwame Nkrumah, Yamin came to disagree with him.
When?
By saying, lead up to 2020 election, this was in 2020 October, thereabout. He said, John Mahama is greater than Kwame Nkrumah. And he cited some Professor Mills' legacies to prove that point, like the University of Ghana Medical School, Atuoba Gas, Kotokoraba Market, which Professor Mills built. He cited them in disagreement with Sam Jonah and said that John Mahama is greater than Kwame Nkrumah. That one, the NDC apologies didn't have problem with it. You wait.
On which platform?
Lee Okran, who was your education minister and was an MP in the birthplace of Kwame Nkrumah, said that he has done better than Kwame Nkrumah in the constituency. That one you didn't have problem. Your founder, J.J. Rollins, he said that Kwame Nkrumah gave us nothing but a flag and a national anthem, and that his hero is Kotoka. Meanwhile, you people you never asked Rollins to apologize to Kwame Nkrumah in his lifetime. Today, somebody is saying, and rightly so, that you can compare Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo record to that of Kwame Nkrumah, and then you have problem with it. The only reason why Napo apologized is the fact that he mentioned Kwame Nkrumah to some in a derogatory manner by saying, "You're Kwame Nkrumah." He apologized for that. But let nobody extend the apology to the fact that he was doing comparison. You can disagree with him. There are a lot of people that can disagree with him based on the facts. But apart from that, I'm saying that we know the NDC. The NDC, this one was like, it played into their main agenda of denigrating him, giving a dog a bad name and hanging it. Because they know, even before Napo became the running mate, the NDC had been touting and then happen on this. He's arrogant. Otun for himself mentioned it before, the inauguration. And Bawumia, for instance, the NDC knew beforehand, that he would become the flag bearer of the NPP. They started, spoiling him, dirtying him, long before. So I, for this sense, no matter what Napo do, or no matter what he does, the NDC will come. Even if Napo had not made that Kwame Nkrumah statement, they would have gotten something about arrogance in that particular, inauguration to talk about.
All right.
I therefore dismiss it, but we are still uphold the apology on the fact that he used a derogatory remarks by saying that your Kwame Nkrumah. But the fact still remains that he has a right to do comparison. And nobody can take that one away from him.
So,
all right.
Unfortunately,
we have to go.
No, let me just respond to.
But if you respond, I
no,
also
but
respond.
30 seconds, 30 seconds, yes, because we have to go.
He says that Yamin says Mahama is greater than. Yamin said we can compare Mahama's achievement to Nkrumah. We can compare. We can compare is different from your Nkrumah cannot even come
he
closer.
apologized for your.
No. But please, let's get it. But don't come and sit here and say that Yamin says that Mahama is better than Nkrumah.
He says so.
No.
He
says
says so.
we can compare.
He
We
said
can check. We can compare. And for
greater.
you to say that the former president, His Excellency GHOne Rawlings, also said something about. I don't think Saka. You stop saying things that you cannot provide evidence. I mean, you come back with evidence. And it's not true. Rawlings never said anything like that anywhere. And for us in NDC, we have always held Nkrumah as the best president. Somebody probably that can come closer.
Let me have my
all right.
We
have to go. Thank you very much. Thank you. No. Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. Saka Salia is a member of the NPP's communications team. I apologize. Next week, God willing, I'll give you a lot more time. Forgive me. And the member of parliament for Sisala West, Mohammed Suparu. Thank you very much for coming on the show as well. Stay with us. After the break, we're going to have a conversation on dengue fever. You're welcome back to the show. This is GH Today. I am Serwaa Amihere. Now, on a Monday, we're going to have to bring you health alerts because the Ghana Health Service yesterday issued a health alert on dengue fever, and there apparently is there's going to be a suspected outbreak of dengue fever, and in the eastern region 9 cases have been recorded. Let's go on the line on Zoom and speak with Dr. Franklin Isiedu-Bequin. He's a director of public health of the Ghana Health Service. Doc, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. Should we be worried, this dengue fever?
Thank you very much. Good morning to your
Doc.
listeners and viewers. Yes?
Sorry, I missed that. Do you mind starting? I missed what you said in the beginning.
Good morning. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes. So, so dengue fever or dengue, I think that's the name of the disease, is not very uncommon, but also not too common in Ghana. So I would say that the symptoms are somehow similar to malaria. So if you do not actually look for it, you will not find it. So what happened was that there are some communities in the eastern region that had a number of the inhabitants reporting symptoms of malaria. So fever, headache, joint pains, a general bodily weakness. So they go to a hospital and they are given anti-malaria medication and they are not so well. So based on that report, we decided to investigate further. And that report led to the situation whereby they picked 46 samples. And in the 46 samples, 9 has come out as positive. But let me say that if you look at the enclave where the disease is coming from, there are other adjoining districts like Asen North, which is in the central region. So we are trying to have a very detailed investigation to see the spread of the outbreak. Dengue is not so fatal. We can have a number of people getting dengue who don't show any symptoms at all. There are only a few who go to the complicated stage, which is called the hemorrhagic fever. So for now, what we are trying to do by our message is that clinicians should look beyond malaria when you have a fever, try and confirm whether it's malaria. If not, then let's look for other conditions. If possible, is dengue, they will treat. So basically, the reason why we send that alert out.
Okay, but there are many people who are scared or are worried, and I want to find out, should we be? Because people have started comparing it to COVID.
No, I think that there are two different disease entities. The fatality for COVID is much higher than dengue.
Okay.
Dengue is actually self-limited, so there's no specific treatment for dengue. If we talk about deaths from dengue, it's on the very low side. What we try to do with our communication is want to have early detection and then management of it. So people should not be scared, but we also encourage people to move away from self-medicating because the presentation is similar to malaria. If you are not careful, you assume it's malaria. You take testimonial amodiaquine or Coartem, and then you think that you've treated. So what we are saying is that in the era that we are in, if you have a fever, joint pains, bodily pains, I think that you need to go to hospital. That you have your blood taken and sample collected to see whether it's malaria or if it's dengue, they will manage it.
Are there any preventive measures?
Yeah, so the preventive measures are similar to what we do for malaria. See, the difference between dengue and malaria is that the vector, in terms of malaria, is Anopheles mosquito. The dengue is Aedes. And the Aedes actually bites during the day, while Anopheles bites in the night. But then in terms of preventive measures, it's about making sure that you avoid the bites of the mosquito. So in the areas that we are having these conditions, they have been advised to make sure that they have long sleeves, trousers, and also make sure that they don't create the environment that will allow mosquitoes to breed. So let's ensure that we don't have obstacles, water. You don't encourage weedy areas that will let water collect. So when you do that, they're actually going to minimize the breeding of mosquito. Then we also have to talk about the use of the bed nets. So these are the measures that we put in place to minimize the risk. I think I need to state that it's actually a vector and the mosquito moves from place to place. So it's very important that we minimize the risk of breeding of mosquitoes in this area that we are in.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking with us, Dr. GHOne. He's the Director of Public Health at the Ghana Health Service. They're giving us some education on the dengue fever. And earlier, if you tune into the show, we gave you some explanation, some symptoms that you should look out for, and some preventive measures when it comes to the dengue fever, just so you're on the alert. But if you missed it, it's going to be on our social media pages. You can take a look. And one of the most important things that Dr. Serwaa GHOne also said is that if you're feeling sick, because this fever has got the same symptoms with malaria, just as malaria. And so if you're feeling sick, feeling any of the symptoms, headaches, fever, rash, nausea, please do not self-medicate. See a doctor. Stay with us. After the break, there's more. Spikey, I actually don't know your real name. And I've never asked. Spikey, what's your full name?
You're the second person asking me this on this show.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your name?
So, you know my name is Kobe, right? Which is
Kobe
a short form of
Spikey.
Kwabena. And my surname is Nkrumah, and I have two middle names, Ofe Kwade. So
Ofe what?
Kwade.
Kwade.
Yeah. It's an Equipim name. So just call me Kobe Spikey.
So, Kobe Ofe Kwade Nkrumah.
That's it.
Are you related to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of.
I don't have a long forehead, so I can't say that.
Okay, Kobe, take it away.
So last week, you know, in the tech world, every year there's new gadgets, and last time we were talking about Apple launching its new iOS and all its new devices. And last week it was Samsung's turn, and they started off by talking about health. And you know, as we've grown in life, as we've advanced in life, we've stopped doing things that are healthy for us. So previously, you know, people walked long miles. Your parents will tell you that they used to walk to school and back. And then that's how they used to keep fit. Now we're all driving, we're all sitting in cars, so we're not as healthy. That's why you have all these smartwatches that we're using to track our health. But people have realized that they're unable to tell, what this means. So it's telling me that my heart rate is this. It's telling me that I've taken too many steps or I've taken little steps. What does all that mean? So Samsung has decided that, we're going to use AI to crunch all that number, all that information into some meaningful information that can help you. Hence, they call it the energy score. So the energy score is essentially every day, they summarize everything you've done, whether you rested well, your activities, and they tell you, hey, you've actually done well, you're stressed, or you're energetic. So maybe if tomorrow you have a plan and you didn't sleep well, you woke up exhausted, it would analyze your schedule and tell you, you might want to skip that workout routine because you don't have enough energy. Now, these smartwatches, in as much as they're good, they also have batteries that run down. So every night you have to charge it, or you have to charge it in the morning after you wake up. And so Samsung has announced the Galaxy Ring, as you can see over here. Now, the Galaxy Ring is essentially a ring, a smart ring made of titanium that you can wear, and it tracks all these things just as your smartwatch would do, but battery lasts for 7 days on a single charge. And Serwaa, would you want a ring that can track your health?
Why not?
So somebody can propose to you the Galaxy Ring.
Well, I have 10 fingers.
So you can put one on it.
Yes.
Great. So as you can see, your ring is tracking all your health and everything, and it composes all of that into your energy score, tracks your sleep, tracks your activity, your heart rate, your stress levels, and everything. So at the end of the day, whether you're keeping a healthy habit or a healthy lifestyle. And away from that, they introduced other features apart from the ring. A new watch, the Galaxy Watch 7, Watch 7 Ultra, as they like to call it. Now, the Galaxy Watch 7 Ultra is for those who are adventurous, those who go outside of their comfort zone, mountain climbing and trekking, all that kind of stuff. So it's rugged. It's not going to be prone to damage like the regular watches. And it's quite hefty on the pricing, but yeah, like I said, it's for a niche group of people. So if you don't find yourself in that group, don't bother at all. Just stick to the regular Watch 7. It can do everything except the rugged stuff that the Watch 7 Ultra can do. And away from that, they finally announced the much-awaited successor to the Galaxy Z Fold 5 and Z Flip 5. So Samsung was a leader in phones that we can open and close. We had them before, they went away, and now they're back. Now you have one that looks like a Bible that you can open like that, and then you have one that opens like a clamshell for the women for their TikToks and stuff. So moving away from that, if you're looking to get a foldable, there's a new one on the market right now, the Galaxy Fold 6. It's slimmer, it's thinner, it's faster, has more AI features, yes. So you're looking at, I saw one feature that really blew my mind. So Samsung has this pen where you can just pull out and draw anything. I really suck at drawing. When I was in school, when it came to art, I loved the art, but Charlie, I can't even draw a circle, even hearts. I love you. If a girl had told me to write, I love you and draw the hearts, she would break up with me because I wouldn't be able to draw it. But now Samsung has introduced a feature called in the Galaxy AI called Sketch to Art. So you sketch anything and would actually create art from it using artificial intelligence. So now you can rush that you can do art when you actually can't do art. So yeah, AI is doing a lot of things to help us. And with the Z Flip, you have bigger battery and AI responses. So when you get a message and you don't want to open your phone, the AI can read the messages and then predict an answer that you'd like to send to people. So you don't always have to open your phone, which I think is quite good. And also you have another feature that I like, also a lot of AI features. The Note Assist allows you to record notes, record voices or like a meeting into your Notes app, and then you can summarize that. It can transcribe everything anyone said into your Notes app. You can summarize it. So imagine you're working in a company, you've gone to a board meeting, whatever, and there has been a lot has been said in a meeting, and you recorded it, but now you have to listen to everything. No, don't worry, you've got AI to the rescue. Galaxy AI is going to listen to the whole meeting, and it can detect up to 10 voices. So if there are 10 people in the meeting, and each one is speaking, it can detect every single person's voice, and name them. So not give them the actual names, but it'll say person 1, person 2, person 3, all the way to person 10, and summarize everything that they say for you after transcribing, obviously. And then you have Composer. So for all those who don't know how to send emails, maybe your brofo is on life support. You now have AI that can write that email for you. So you want to send an email to your boss. You're angry, but you don't want to communicate your anger. You can ask Composer to write that email for you. I'm sending an email to my boss complaining about the fact that he's been calling me at wrong hours. They call me at 12. And you want to be angry, but you don't want to be angry because it's a corporate environment. Composer will write that email for you professionally so you can send it. So that's the example of the sketch to art being shown on the Galaxy Z Fold 6. So you just draw anything and it brings it to life. It creates a much realistic version of that using artificial intelligence. So you can do a lot more with that with AI. You can even cut things out. So as you can see, you took a picture of the Eiffel Tower and drew a boat, hit generate, and it generated the image of the boat in the video, in the image, sorry. So you can do all that using Galaxy AI. So as you can see, the boat has been drawn on the image. And you have Portrait Assist as well, so you can turn all your images into portraits. So many AI features right now. So once you take a picture, we can ask it to create different versions of that for you. Now, moving away from that, they also announced a lot of camera upgrades. Right now, everyone is taking pictures. I'm even surprised we still have photographers going to weddings, because you get to wedding and people are trying to compete with photographers with their phones. And some pictures are actually very good, thanks to the fact that new technology advancements every single year. And as you can see, 50 megapixels on the Z Flip 6. So for those TikTokers, with a Flip 6, you can actually set the phone down and the camera can detect if there's more people in the scene. So assuming you're taking a group video for your TikTok or a group photo and you stand and you haven't set it well, because of the camera settings that is on the phone, it can actually detect that there are more people and then open up to the wide angle to accommodate every single person in the image. You don't have to go and touch the phone. It does all that for you. So as you can see, automatically it detects someone. It can open up the field of view. And then you also have instant slow-mo. So no time for you to bother whether you don't have slow-mo features on your phone. You take any video, tap and hold it, and it will instantly, with the help of AI, interpolate it with other frames to make the video slow motion. Previously, you'd have to use a slow-mo feature, which is about very low frame rates, and it doesn't really look good. So I've said a lot, and there are a lot more features, but I think what will happen is that I'll do an actual full review of the device so you know everything that's coming, everything that it will be capable of, and you can use that to make your purchasing decision, whether you want to get this or get another phone. And with that, I'm done, Serwaa.
Thank you, Spiky. I saw you at the launch of the phone.
Oh yeah.
When are you bringing me mine?
Don't worry, I got you.
Thank you very much, Kobe Nkrumah. That's your new name.
That's my original name.
Yes, so that's what I'm going to call you now, Kobe Nkrumah.
So you call me Spiky again?
When I remember it.
But when you remember the Spiky or when you remember the Kobe Nkrumah?
No, when I remember the Spiky. For now,
okay.
I'm going to change your name on my phone to Kobe Nkrumah.
Yes, Madam.
Kobe Nkrumah. Sounds so funny because everyone calls him Spiky. Anyway, thank you so much, Spiky.
Thank you for
Spiky has so much knowledge when it comes to tech. It amazes me. And I don't even know like a quarter of it. But yeah, that's why we have you to help us through it. I'll see you again tomorrow, Spiky.